Moving forward to another ranked matchup, we have number 10 Notre Dame, a 6.5-point road favorite at Louisville, who is now coming in at 25. The game has an over-under 54.5 points, and it kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Look, Notre Dame gets absolutely no time to breathe or rest or anything. This team, they got to be beat up, man. 2 last-second finishes, high electricity atmospheres, just like emotionally exhausted. But yeah, they get another one this week. Like I said, no time to rest here. I'm really, really interested to see how Notre Dame comes out of the gate, particularly first quarter, first couple of drives. It was slow in both first halves in the past 2 games for the Irish before they picked it up in the second halves. Story of the game so far for Notre Dame, missed opportunities, man. They run a slow pace, so when you miss opportunities, it hurts more disproportionately than teams that run faster paces and get more possessions. But an area of concern for Louisville, their offensive line just got blown up against NC State. 40% of their runs were stuffed at or behind the line of scrimmage for a gain of 0 or fewer, and 64% of those rushes were stopped at less than 2 yards. Jawar Jordan, who's just been a beast this year, you couldn't get anything going in the second level either. Against Notre Dame's defense, this is a real problem, Kelly. It really is. Ohio State had that 161-yard touchdown rush, but otherwise, just 65 total rushing yards. Duke had a 34-yard rush. It was the long for the running backs, but then the running backs went for 3.2 a carry outside of that. I'm taking Riley Leonard out because that's different, a lot of scrambles, stuff like that, and Jack Plummer's not really a rushing threat. So Notre Dame's been able to absolutely stuff offensive lines and bottle up run games, particularly from running backs. They want to force the ball into Plummer's hands. He has 6 interceptions on the year. He's had some accuracy issues this season. And Notre Dame, they counter Jamari Thrash really well. All-American Benjamin Morrison at corner, he's been playing out of his mind. They just held Marvin Harrison 3 for 32. Ohio State had to go elsewhere. They had to look to Emeka Egbuka. Fortunately, they had that. Louisville does not have an Emeka Egbuka on their team. So they're going to struggle to throw the ball as well. Louisville against Georgia Tech and Boston College, that's where they scored their points offensively. The problem is Georgia Tech and Boston College are 127th and dead last in defensive EPA, respectively. And then when they played Indiana and NC State, they struggled against those defenses. A little bit more creative, a little more physical, a little bit better. I have genuine concerns about the Cardinals' ability to score here.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Brett. I have Notre Dame -7 in this one. It's a 69% win expectancy. The Irish have floated between number 10 and number 13 in my power ratings all season. I currently have Notre Dame number 11. The consistency here has been remarkable. They have the number 14 offense, the number 11 defense. There isn't a single game remaining in which my numbers make the Irish an underdog. There's a 17% chance that Notre Dame runs the table and finishes 11-1. With the number 13 record achievement, number 11 relative scoring margin, Notre Dame ranks number 12 in my most deserving metric. The Irish are absolutely still in the CFP conversation. They'll be hoping the Buckeyes can run the table in the Big Ten, and that could be a, quote, good loss, as the committee likes to call them. On the other side, it's been a dream start for Jeff Brum in his first year on the sidelines at his alma mater. The Cardinals are number 19 in my most deserving rankings, number 29 in the power ratings. They have the number 27 offense, number 26 defense. That said, the Irish do present the most difficult test for Louisville on both sides of the ball. It's not particularly close given what Louisville has faced to this point. Even though this game is in Louisville, my numbers suggest the Irish are going to be too much for the Cardinals on both sides of the ball, Brett. As you said, may be difficult for Louisville to score here. Bottom line, I have Notre Dame -7. It's a 31% chance that Louisville improves to 6-0 on the season, which would just be remarkable. They will certainly improve on their number 19 most deserving rank if the Cardinals are able to get the upset win here at home.
I do want to harken back. You said they're still in the CFP conversation, and when you're dealing with the college football playoff in its current iteration, so this is the last year likely that we'll talk about this, you really have to be a one-loss team or you have to run the table. And Notre Dame's already got that one loss. So if you're considering betting them for the college football playoff, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can go find the current price of to make the college football playoff, which is plus 750, or you can do a rolling parlay, which our editor, Stephen Andres, loves rolling parlays. And oftentimes, mathematically, it makes more sense. So you bet them money line, you take the winnings from that, bet them money line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that way, if you lose, you're only losing about 1 unit on that one. Now, mathematically, it normally makes sense, except for the fact that Notre Dame is favored so heavily over their future opponents, except for Clemson, which may be a 6, maybe 3.5, whatever. Either way, the math actually comes out to the point where it actually makes more sense to bet the future right now than it does the rolling parlay. If they win this game, that number is going to crash. The plus 750 will not be available anymore. So jump on it now if you are serious about Notre Dame making the college football playoff. Now, my hesitation with betting that future is that Notre Dame does not have the conference championship. And I know that it does matter. And if they're on the verge, a one-loss team, and let's say a one-loss Washington or one-loss USC, and they're fighting that final spot, and one of those teams comes out and wins the Pac-12 championship, or they're fighting both that are both one-loss, and they're in the Pac-12 championship, the winner of that's probably going to jump Notre Dame. So that's the only reason I haven't bet it.
They'll want it to be USC because the Irish will have beaten USC in this scenario. So they'll want USC to win the Pac-12. Now you've got that head-to-head tiebreak, which the committee would likely value. But yeah, just for the sake of confirmation, my numbers right now give Notre Dame a 10% chance to make the CFP. So take that for what it is. Yes, the threshold is high for a team that doesn't have the opportunity to make the conference or play for a conference championship. 11-1 is what you need. 17% chance to get that. A 10% chance to make the CFP. So that's how my numbers see it right now on early October.
Everything I see about this game tells me that the under is a correct play. Slower pace from the favorite. Honest questions about how the faster-paced team scores, especially up front, except that the market is in 100% disagreement with me. It's been bet up from 48.5 to 54.5, and that gives me genuine cause for pause. I'm just like, how am I supposed to go against the market? Unless you've been paying attention to closing line value and the fact that the market's been getting absolutely dominated this year, myself included. Look, if this number hits 55, I'm betting under, cut and dry. It's the most frequent total in the last 5 years in college football, so it's going to take a lot to get up to that. I'm going to be patient. If the 55 doesn't show, I'm going to go against the market. I'm going to fade the steam. I'm going to take under 54.5 for this game.